Welcome to my Java video series. Today I am going to talk about result set in full detail. So let's have a look at the database structure. So this is my employee table, you can see here, and it has 6 records from A to F. Now I'm going to write a select query here. I'm going to select here some column employee ID and name from employee table, where this is I'm going to use here employee ID in, and I'm going to select here record for this is 1 2 3 4, and I'm going to use here in 1 2 3 and 4. So I will get the data for these criteria, for this criteria. So you can see here data. So this is the result of your select query from 1 to 4. And now let me show you how this can be arranged. Just a moment. So this is your set of all records. I'm going to keep my all records this side. So I'm going to divide my database in two parts. So this is my database, and I'm going to divide this in two parts. This part, the bottom part, will be your permanent data area. So this is my permanent data area. So this side will be permanent. This is permanent data area. So data is permanently available here. This is my permanent data area, and this side will be your result set cursor area, where data will be stored for your result query, for your select query. So when you perform a select query, you have got here 4 records. So I'm going to arrange here my data. So I'm going to arrange the results here. So these 4 records we have got from the select query, and I'm going to organize in my this area. So this is the result of your select query, and I'm going to copy my select query also. So this is my select query. Yes, so when the select query is running, you will get the data from your database permanent area into the temporary area. So this temporary area is holding the result of your select query. So the data will be loaded. So this is loaded after the select operation. So I cannot say that the data will be copied into the temporary area. It may be copied or it may not be copied, but holding the you can say the record identifier in this temporary area. So this can have, here you can have either data or the unique row identifier of the data, or you can say the address of the record will be available in this area, but that is an internal matter of the database server. So what is important for me, so when I connect my application here, so suppose this is my client, so this is my Java application, this is my result set, this is my Java application, and I'm going to access the data from the Java application. So this query is executed from the Java application, and we know that when select query is executed, we get the result set object here. This is a result set object you will receive here when you execute this select query, and when the result set object is available here, it is connected to the record. So here we have some pointers, like I'm going to mark these pointers here. So let me add here some markers. So this is your before first. So it starts from the before first. There are different points: before first, first, and then before first, then you can go to the next record, and this is your last record, and this is your after last. So there are different points available here. So this is your entry point and this is your before first pointer, means we are not in the first record till now. That is called a before first, and first means you are in the row number 1. So your pointer is, your result set is pointing to the record number 1, and this is your last record. Fourth record will be your last record, and the outside of the record will be your after last. And now when the result set is open, when the result set object is opened, it is by default pointing to the before first. So I cannot access the data when my pointer is pointing to the before first. So I need to call here rs.next. I need to generate a call here, rs.next method. When you call this method, the record will be, your result set is pointing to the first record, and actually it will fetch one record from the server. It will fetch one data from, it will fetch this first record from the database server to your Java application. So this is how you can see, and there is one network environment here. You can see the network will be there always, because the JDBC or the database connectivity is all based on the client server technology. So this is your network. So when you perform rs.next method, when you call rs.next method, a record, the pointer will move to the first row, and that record will be transferred to the client. So now when you call here again, when you call rs.next method, your cursor will move to the next line. So you will go to this, and the record will be fetched here. So in every next call, cursor will move to the next. So like this we have some other methods here. So one by one you can move to the next in your cursor. So this temporary area where data is available, and we call it a temporary area, it is given for the client query execution, we call it a temporary. So I name this area as temporary client SQL, temporary client area, and here the data is held by your implicit cursor. So implicit cursor is an area which is holding the result. So generally cursor is a database object which is capable to hold the result of your select query, and you can perform some operation on those results. So that is the power inside the cursor. So similarly we have got a cursor here after execution of the select query, and that cursor is holding the result of my select query. So this cursor is internally managed by the database server itself, and that's why it is called implicit cursor. And there is a provision to create cursor manually for our situations, our requirement, but right now in the current case the implicit cursor will be used here. So when result set is opened, it is pointing to the before first, and when you call in next method, the pointer will be moved to the next record, and data will be transferred from client to the from database server to the client. So for every next call you will get one record from the database server. Similarly, there is a provision in a result set to make it scrollable result set, and by default in case of MySQL the result set is a scrollable result set, and we can jump to the any specific position inside your cursor. So there is a method called rs.absolute. So I can jump to the record number. For example, I would like to jump to row 3. So 3 is not about, it is not your this employee ID, it is not your employee ID, it is record number 3, 1 2 3. So C is your third record, and that's why I can jump from this absolute to the third record. So this is how we can see. So you will get the data here for the third record. And now we have method here directly, like I can call here rs.last. You can go to the last record, you can directly jump to the last record, and that data will be accessible here. You can go to the rs.after last. These are the methods given inside result set to traverse your cursor. So like this, and there is a method to directly jump to the first record, rs dot first. So these are some methods which is supporting the scrolling behavior, and like I can go from after last to the first record. So this is possible when your cursor is scrollable. So I can jump to the first record here. So this is how you can see. So you can jump to the any record using the absolute method, and you can navigate around the cursor using these different methods. So you can go to the first, you can go to the last, you can go to the after last, you can go to the absolute record. So these are different methods you will see, and these methods are much more similar to the cursor operations as we learn in database server. So the database cursor support different operations, and the similar operations are mapped by your result set in the front end technology. Like Java, we have in terms of Java we have result set, which is simulating your cursor operations. So now let's have a look at the example. So I'm going to talk about the result set here and how it is working. So I'm going to copy one example for my database connectivity job. So let me copy paste this example, and I'm going to talk about result set demo. This is example I'm going to create, and now the connectivity will be reused here, and I'm going to change my query. This is how you can load the driver, and this is how you can create the database connection. It is all set. We have got a result set, we have got a statement here, and we need a query here to select the data. So I'm going to use same query as I use for the demonstration purpose. So this is my select query. I'm going to copy paste this. So select employee ID and name from employee table, where employee ID match for these records 1 2 3 and 4. And now I'm going to perform here execute query. So this is I'm going to perform here execute query. Just a moment. So statement dot execute query is a method I'm going to call for select query, and here I will get the result set. Look at this query method returns some result set object here. So I will receive here result set object in this reference rs, and now let me try to generate some error first. Let me generate some error first, then we'll sort out the matter. So try to access some data from this result set. So rs dot I'm going to access the data for the id, and id is an integer, and I'm going to put the name here. This is employee id I'm going to access here, and I will print the rs dot name from this name column. Okay, so I read here, I'm trying to read here employee id and employee name, which is accessed from the select query, and now run this. One more thing we need to do here. After completion of your job, you must close the result set. So generally you should use all these releasing of the resources job inside the finally block in combination of try catch finally. Okay, so anyway, that is a secondary job. I'm well focused about the result set here. So look at this, I have got a result set object here, and I'm going to access the data here. So run this. So you will get an error message here. You will see one error message before start of result set. What I'm doing here, I have never initiated the result set. I have not accelerated the result set here. So my result set is pointing to before first, and I'm going to access the data from the pointer before first. So there is no record available in the before first case. So I need to call here next to go to the the first record. So this is wrong. So what I should do here, I cannot do this. This is wrong. I must call here to access this. I must call here rs.next. So when you generate this rs.next call, your cursor is pointing to the first record, and now you can get the first record. So look at this, we have got a single record right now. So to access the second record, you need to again call this rs.next and again print this. So I'm going to copy paste this couple of lines. So this is done. So these two lines will access the first record, and this will be your second row. So try to access this. Yes, you can access all the records, but now the point is how many records are there inside the result set. So for that purpose there is a small procedure. So I'm going to comment these two records. Just a moment. I can use here a for while loop to dynamically access all records available inside the cursor. So actually the rs.next method returns true. This method returns true if record is available in your cursor, if record is fetched from the cursor, or it will return false if there is no record found in the cursor. So I can take the advantage, I can take this boolean advantage here in this while loop. So write a while loop here, and rs.next method, if anything returned from the result set, if anything written by the cursor, I can use here it will return here true. So if record is found, you will get here true, and this line will be executed, and if there is no record in your result set, you will get here false. So this will access all the data. Look at this. So this will start from first through last. So you can access here all the records, just like you run the same query from your SQL terminal. So this is the query I have run here, and I have got here 4 records, and similarly I can access all same 4 records from the Java application. So this is how we can see. Now when the loop is completed, probably my pointer is my result set is pointing to, my result set is reached to the after last. So in this case my result set is pointing to after last, and in fact I cannot access any more record after this. Let's try this, have a look at some problem. So we reached out of the result set, we reached out of the your cursor area. Now look at this. Oh, you will get here after end of result set you are trying to access some data. So this is the problem, you moved out of the result set and trying to access the data. So what I need to do here, so this is not working, so I can go to the first record if your result set is scrollable. So result set has support to work in both direction, forward direction and reverse direction, backward direction. So but this is only possible when result set is scrollable. So in case of MySQL JDBC driver, it is by default scrollable, but probably you need to configure your scrollable result set manually for different database, but here it can work directly. So I'm going to jump to the first record, so I can directly jump to the first record. So this will take me to the first record, and I can get the value from that record. So look at this, you will get the first record here. Oh, this is your first record. Let me put one separator here, just a moment. So this is my separator, and after accessing whole records I'm going to again access the first record only. So this is how you can see. So you can jump to the first record. Now your cursor is pointing to the first record. You can again go to the next and jump to the next record. So when you call here rs.next, your cursor will move to the second record here, so like this. So I'm not going to show this, but this is the procedure. So next method, when you call a next method, your cursor will be moving to the next record from the current pointer. So here you are at the first position, and when you call a next method you will go to the next record, like this. In fact I can directly jump to the specific record, like rs dot I will prefer to go to the absolute, and I would like to jump to which record I'm going to jump here. I'm going to jump to the this is third record. So let me jump to the third record. So you can see I'm going to jump to the third record. So this 3 is not a primary key, it's not a primary key value, it is a row number, it's a row number. So this 3 is nothing but your row number 1, row number 2, row number 3. So I'm going to jump to the row number 3, and you can access the again data here. So now you access the third record, row number 3, you move to the row number 3 and access the data from this row number 3. Look at this, you have got here 3C. So this is your third record. So this is the way you can work around the result set and the whole concept is all around this diagram. So when you perform any select operation in your permanent data area, the data will be the result of the query will be held by your implicit cursor, and this implicit cursor is connected to the result set. And now when you perform some operation on the result set, one by one you can fetch the data from the cursor. So next method will fetch one data, again when you call next method you will get the next record. So one by one you can traverse through the cursor, and there are different operations to jump to the specific position by providing the row number. Here you can go to the last, you can go to the first, you can move to the after last, like this. So the database operations provided inside the implicit cursor are mapped with the result set. So this is the concept in Java, but most probably in different programming languages also the similar behavior you will see, similar objects you will see in different programming languages. But we have result set, and this can communicate to the implicit cursor to fetch the data one by one. We have some more advanced provisions associated to the result set, so you can work out by your own. So there are few more things you can study, like scrollable result set you can do, and you can study about the you can study about here result set fetch size. In fact, I am going to cover result set fetch size in coming series. So these two more things associated to the result set will cover up in coming series. So this is, I think, enough for the current discussion. Thank you very much for watching.